Hello, I'm TheNerdySteve and welcome to my movie review channel. If you like what you see, I'd appreciate you liking, commenting, or subscribing. Today, I will be reviewing Edgar Wright's The Running Man in one take. So, let's go. Ben Richards is now on his last resort. No job, a sick child. He needs money now. In this dystopian society, that's an almost impossible task. However, there is a game show he can join, and if he wins, he'll be set for life. And if he loses, well, he won't have one anymore. I knew the Running Man's plot before going into the film, mostly from the trailers, and because I may have seen the original film 30 years ago. I'm also not familiar with the Stephen King work. And as I mentioned so many times in my reviews, that doesn't really matter to me. I try to review things on their own individual merits. And this movie has a lot, but I don't think enough for me to really love it. Glen Powell is pretty fantastic as the lead, Ben Richards. He's a proud and principled person whose ethic system is at odds with the world of the movie. We root for him and want him to win. However, there's something with the writing or performance that doesn't ring authentic to me. And this is one of my larger criticisms of The Running Man. There's an anger underneath Powell's performance I didn't love. It seems to just come out too abruptly. He's highly charismatic and likable, but doesn't come across as troubled. When these bouts of anger escape, I read it as silly rather than frightening. Maybe this won't bother you. And it honestly didn't really bother me. But this disconnect is kind of indicative of my problem with the film. It seems like it doesn't know what it wants to be. Powell's performance fits so well so often with the movie. He's absolutely exhilarating in the action sequences. They're intense and him equally so. There is a hilarious section with Cera that is just the right amount of eccentric. And Powell and the characterization of Ben Richards works in those moments. But I found the individual components of the movie didn't always add up to something I enjoyed. If the movie stuck with this cat and mouse chase of Richards running around trying to survive, it may have been more successful. But the film tries to tackle larger societal problems and themes and kind of goes all over the place. There's a lot here, but I think it gets lost in the process. I found the ending to be a pretty big mess where I was wondering what was happening and got very confused. And maybe I missed some obvious clues or hints, but the movie has some weird choices that were a little unprecedented. I feel some of these things were because of an attempt to stay true to the source material, but I could be wrong there. There were a lot of instances where I was questioning what was going on, and that separated me from the experience rather than creating something more engaging and interesting. Overall, I thought The Running Man was acceptable. Its first two-thirds are pretty great, everything makes sense and flows well, and then it kind of just loses all momentum. It's a fine film, but I don't think it has a high enough quality to recommend as a first watch for action fans. And that is that. I'm the Nerdy Steve, and thank you so much for watching. And as always, like and subscribe and comment below to tell me how right or wrong you think I am. Have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.